content, not just any kind of content, content that converts. Content is your primary way of marketing yourself. If you decide you're not going to market yourself, you're limiting yourself to so many ways of attracting clients that does not even require your input. We talked about attraction marketing, well, a sort of introduction to attraction marketing, where creating content that people vibe with, content that people resonate with, that people engage with, leads to more visibility. And that visibility, when somebody just scrolls through their feed and they see this content that somebody else likes, and they think this is something that, they resonate with, they follow you. Probably a potential client, right? And this is because of content that just you're putting out. After you've put it out, it can go anyhow. It's not going to take any more of your effort. And so when you decide you're not going to put out content, you're just going to stay silent and reach out to people in the DMs. First, you open yourself to being exploited. And this I've seen happening, where because people do not know your standards, because people do not know the kind of person you are, they feel okay because you're sort of hiding. Like, who will you tell anyways? Who are you going to tell if they do something shoddy? The good thing about being out there, you have your rates out there, you have your standards. People know. You don't come at Namatasi like this because she's going to out you or something like that. The moment I started posting about not taking rates because I'm African, not taking poor rates because they stopped. I haven't seen a single person come to me and telling me I'm going to pay you $2 per gigawatt hour or lower. And I know people in my tribe are being exploited, and I've chatted with so many others being paid cents on the hour. Cents, that's exploitation. You're shit in a new manga too. It pains me that you're seated there, you've given all your time to somebody who's exploiting you. They're not paying you employee rates, they're not paying your taxes, they're not paying your insurance, yet you've given all your time, sometimes even more than employees, and they're giving you subpar rates. You know why? Because they're saving money. In the US, no one would pay anyone, even mtu wa kuosha chini, they wouldn't pay anyone less than $10 an hour. When a company decides that they're outsourcing all their work to Africans and people in Brazil and people in some parts of Asia, it's because they're out here saving money, serious money. And I know big companies that are doing that. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do other than telling you people to come out and start getting your own clients where you set your own rates. Yeah, Caroline is getting shocked. It happens. So many people in the tribe I've talked to, and this is happening to them. You create your content, you set your standards. People know what you accept, what you don't accept. People know. If you come at me and you're racist, we're not going to work together. There's no way. Today, I want us to do, we're going to do like a small exercise, just like a small one. The rest of the things you're going to do later in your own time. But ultimately, what I want us to get out of this class today is to learn what it takes for you to convert to your content. Like the nitty-gritty is 1, 2, 3s of creating content that is able to convert for you, right? What is the purpose of being consistent? Consistency is better than being constant. I think the word is constant, because you're told constancy ni ile utokelezea on Monday, on Monday lazima utoke. You tokea on Tuesday, on Tuesday you have to show up, on Wednesday and such. Consistency is about you never going away. You could show up 3 times a week, you could show up 2 times the next week, but as long as you're consistent, you're showing up. That is it. That is what you need to do. And where you need to tap into yourself, because doing it like this, it's hard. You're basically an entrepreneur. Let me tell you, whether you're freelancing or not, whether you've registered your company or not, when you decide to do this to do it like this, you're not dependent on any app, you're not dependent on any middleman. It's your own responsibility whether you have money in your pocket or not. It's your own responsibility how much you make or not. You're the creator of whatever comes into your life through your business. You're the creator. You decide the kind of clients you work with, you want to work with or not. You decide if you're going to be frustrated by clients or not. You decide whether you're going to be working all weekends or not. This is it. This is the kind of freedom you create for yourself. You create it, or you decide somebody else is going to control it for you. But this is it. This is it. And you have to tap into yourself. You really have to believe in what you're offering. You have to know why you're here. Otherwise, after two months, no japata mteja, after 2 months and you haven't gotten a client, you're going to pack up and say LinkedIn doesn't work for you. And this is what I tell people. With LinkedIn, it's not about if you get clients, it's about when. Because everybody on LinkedIn is there knowing this is a business platform. This is where I come engaging with people, looking for partnerships, looking for collaborations, looking for ways to benefit each other business-wise. All right, everyone on LinkedIn is ready. Like if you send a connection request to somebody, they look at your profile and they're like, they're trying to figure out how you can be of benefit to them or they can be of benefit to you. It's like that. And people will ask you, especially if you don't know each other, they'll ask you, hey, what caught your attention? And I also do that. What caught your attention? What made you want to connect with me? Why? You need to tap into yourself. You need to know why you're doing this. Otherwise, there's nothing that can hold you here. There's nothing. You'll do it. I got my first client on LinkedIn after 6 months being on LinkedIn. I wasn't showing up consistently. I was trial and erroring. I didn't know what content to put out. I was just like winging it. At the time, I couldn't afford coaching from anyone, nothing. After my first priority wasn't coaching. My first priority was dressing my baby, feeding her, like just the basics of life, you know. But as time went on, I started now getting confidence with what I was doing, seeing what was working, what wasn't, leaning onto what was working. That's how I learned, like trial and error. And when I started sending my clients through their own transformation. That is what has given me even more confidence. All right. Today we're going to talk about content, creating your content pillars. And then your action strategy. And this, you remember if you came into the first session where we wrote out our mission, our commitment, your commitment to being a solution. It's not about you. You show up. If you trust in your offer, show up. Set time aside. Say, this is what I'm committing. I'm going to be posting this much per week, and create a plan to make that happen. If you say it and never actually do it, what do you want to get out of it? You know, create an action strategy, something you can follow step by step, something that can't overwhelm you, something that is easy to do, so that as you're doing other things, what happens on LinkedIn, it couldn't take you any further below. You know, you can only take you on top. But you want to start at a place where it doesn't overwhelm you. It's easy to do, it's easy to follow through, something that you can do for months as you're doing other things before it picks up. This is a business you're setting up. This is a business you're setting up. All right. And how businesses go, you could either, business works out differently for people. But what I know, you keep at it. You keep perfecting your craft. You keep increasing your capacity to serve and to bring a solution. You keep honing in on your genius. On your genius. I'm going to insist on that, on your genius, because we don't all have to write. Not all of us are good writers. Not all of us are copywriters. Not all of us are email marketers. Not all of us are, whatever is your genius, lean onto that. Lean into that, because that is where you start doing things easy. That is where you start doing things easy. Like it's natural for you. You solve somebody's problem that's been a headache for them, but for you, it comes so easy, right? This is where money comes in. This is where you start building your business to scale. You build a team, leaning into your genius. You don't have to learn something from scratch. All you have to do is lean on it and increase your capacity as you grow, okay? The purpose, learn how to communicate effectively and meaningfully. We talked about clarifying your message, how to remove the extra, the noise, the jargon, all that. Just minimizing your marketing to the solution that you offer and how it solves somebody's problem. If you've had something you like from what I've said, just repeat it in the chat. I'm going to read it. So sorry. So I'm trying to figure out how to share my screen so that you guys can see. Please mute yourselves. Please mute yourselves. Yeah, I'll watch Okumu says, do what comes naturally to me. Yes, you don't have to familiar yourself doing something that stresses you out. If you do not have to do academic writing, please don't imagine you do not have to do anything in this world. Lean into your genius. There's something that is natural. It just flows. You don't have to be taught. You don't have nothing. It just flows. If there's something like that, something that just comes naturally, and you figure out how you can use that to solve somebody else's solution, sell that and learn how to market it. That's it. All right, somebody says yes, Janet N says, I'm setting up a business and you need strategy and commitment. Amen. Yeah. Edith Asira says most freelancers from Philippines accept less than $10 an hour. Not from Philippines only. Africans too. And Filipinas are getting so much trouble trying to come out of that. There's a friend of mine we met on Facebook. She's Filipina, and she's told me the last 6 years she's been offering social media services. She's good, but every time she wants to raise her charges, she's told, like a client tells her, I can get any other Filipina to pay that, to work for less. They've become interchangeable, and it's hurting their business. If you're not in what is this group, Abby's group for virtual assistants, you should join it and look for Filipinas. See how Filipinas are trying to break out of that out of those low rates. It's horrible, and we want to do that to ourselves, just like with our eyes wide open. We want to do that to ourselves, and it's hurting us. Let me tell you something I found out, Josie, for Kenyans in the group. Do you know we pay our debts, the ones that our governments take in dollars? That's why our debts never go down, because we have to pay them in dollars. So even your dollar rate imepanda, our debt raises with that. And since we are here trying to finile ourselves huku chini, when the world does not think twice about what you do, that rate, that dollar rate that we are paying, si translates inakuja huku chini. Our chumvi raises, pegs squeezing na ni pesa mingi kuliko venye we used to buy. Even pegs, like simple things like that. So do not sell your value. Lean on your value, lean on your genius, solve a big problem for somebody. They're going to pay you. And no one is going to ask you, whatever, you're African or whatever, no one will ask. Okay. Am I sharing my screen? Let me know if, oh yeah, I'm sharing. Okay, so there are 3 purposes your content has to serve for it to convert for you. 3 purposes. Content that converts serves. It makes you familiar and human. 1, it makes you familiar and human. There is no way you'll come and want to sell your offers every day. Like you wake up and I'm a this and this and that. I can do this and this for you. Tomorrow, you do I'm a this and this and that. I can do this for you. The next day, it's tiring. It's not new. You know what makes you fresh, human? It's your everyday things. Why do you do what you do? Everyday things like that. What motivates you to wake up? What are the challenges that you've overcome? Things like that. Stuff you love, stuff you're passionate about, you know. What are those things that just trigger you? Share those things. They make you human, they make you relatable. Like people will just, and this is what creates a tribe for you, people who gravitate towards you because of who you are, your personality, you know, what you're about, what you stand for. Such things, you communicate such things through your content. That is what builds your tribe. That is where you have fans. That is where you get champions from. You get champions, strangers, total strangers who are championing you. Purpose number 2, start conversations. In this category, you educate, you inform people around your expertise, around the solutions that you offer, around the problems that you solve. You start conversations because this is how I solved this problem. How else have you had it being solved? You start conversations, you know. This is where you share your beliefs. This is where you share your ideologies. You know, this is what I believe. What do you believe? And create that space where it's an exchange. It's a debate. It's not mapigano. It's not like war. You know, create a conducive environment for people to just be different and being appreciated for that. Start conversations. The other purpose, the third purpose, sorry. That purpose, it's content that activates your audience to take action. This is like the offers, the transformational posts. This is where you share with people how your solution is different, how it's better, how it's faster, how it's easier than your competitors. You know, you're activating your audience to leap, to buy whatever you're selling. Why you? What is it that makes you a better solution bearer, right? Why you? And I'll tell you this, as a service provider, you cannot remove yourself from the solution. You're the package. You are the package. People are gonna buy or dump your offer because of you. Yeah, you'll find somebody and they have such great presence, but they're not for you. Why? They're not for you. You'll say, I can't work with this person. You know, I can't work with this person. You never say I can't buy from, I can't buy their offer. It's theirs. You know, it's about that person. Same way, it's about you. Why you? This is why you share. What is it about you? Your education, your skills, your passion. What is it about you that makes you that person people should buy from? Gosh. Right? 3 purposes. If they hit home, drop them in the chats. Put them in the chats. If you feel like they spoke true, yeah? Your content, now, your content alone, you could create really great content, but if the audience receiving it isn't the right one, you lose out. If I market like this, if I talk about LinkedIn to my Facebook audience is filled with people who have no idea what LinkedIn is, they are not entrepreneurs, so I can't even help them, and they have no business even being online. How are they going to buy? They're not gonna buy. I walk around. When I started out, I used to walk around at home and people would ask me, Nama, what do you, hizo ni nini unaongeanga on Facebook? What is that you talk about? What is LinkedIn? You know? And I remember a friend of mine told me, in this like whole building where I live, it's just me who knows about LinkedIn. And I don't want to buy. So who's going to buy from you? I told them, I don't need to sell to all these people about LinkedIn. I need to sell to the people who need LinkedIn. All right. So similar to yours, I had a really great example about an umbrella. Let me share with you. Yeah. So look at this umbrella. It looks so pretty and so good and so beautiful. I'd want to buy it, right? It looks so good. So let's say you're selling this umbrella. It's beautiful, it's classy, it's hardy. Itabebo no upepo, it turn upside down. It won't turn upside down, facing the wind or whatever. It's like really hardy. And you decide you're going to sell it to a place like Kenya when it's mildly warm. See, like it's not hot, it's just warm. There's like a cool breeze around, and you want to sell it. There's a high chance you're going to zunguka, you're going to go around, and no one will want to buy, right? Unless they, I don't know, unless they really want it or something. It's difficult to convince people to want to buy at that time in that place. But if you went to somewhere rainy, it's rainy, and you find a stranded parent with a kid, and they're stranded somewhere, they can't move, they can't get out of there, it's raining because they don't have an umbrella. If you went and approached them with this umbrella, they're gonna buy so fast. If you had like a bundle, there's a high chance you're gonna sell out, just because you're selling at the right time to the person who needs it the most. Similar to your offer, it has to be received by the right people who need it the most for you to sell. All right, so your content and your audience go hand in hand. So after this session, next week we do lead generation. Who is that? Please. Could you mute yourselves? All right, thank you. So similar to your content has to be received by the right audience, people who are ready to buy, people who feel the frustration of not having a solution. That's your premium buyer. That's your premium buyer. These are people who do not wait to be convinced so much, like they already know. If you communicate and tell them this problem that you're having is solved like this, they're gonna pay because it's a pain in their ass, right? So they'll pay for that. So next week I'm gonna show you how to do your lead gen on LinkedIn using Sales Navigator and without Sales Navigator, so that it's easy for you to find and locate your clients in groups through search and other things on your LinkedIn profile. I'm gonna share that with you. Yeah. All right. So for your content, to start conversations, like we talked about the 3 purposes, for your content to be able to start conversations, for your content to make you familiar and human, for your content to activate your audience to take action, you need to do 3 things. Figure out what makes you valuable, what makes you stand out, what sets you apart. You are the solution bearer, remember that. And every time that you communicate, regardless that you're focusing on the solution, you're the package, you're the deal breaker. You could have the most like, you could create an offer with the most value in it, and you know this could save somebody like thousands of dollars. But you show up, you're not confident in your offer, or you trust your offer. And I remember one time I was in a coaching program and I told this coach, if I could take this offer, she told me, Nama, why are you not confident in your offer? I told her, if I could take this offer and give it to somebody else who understands LinkedIn even slightly, they'd be able to sell. The only problem is me. I don't want to be the one selling it, you know. And that tells you, when you have a problem with yourself, you have a problem with receiving money, you have a problem with being seen, you know, as somebody, because we're taught as if you're showing off or something, you know. You want to hide yourself, be humble, do like dim yourself, you know. We are taught that. So I didn't want to be the one solving problems for people, although I knew, like, I could go to somebody's profile on LinkedIn, see their content and say this person is not converting, and I can tell you why, how they can do it, you know. Simple stuff. If you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe in your offer, you're not gonna sell. Once you start embodying that, accepting how you come into this solution, accepting that you're part of the package, you have to own your story. You have to own your story. And this is the prompt for the post today. Our first post, this is it. So take notes, because you have to do this. You committed to being active on LinkedIn. You committed to being a solution provider. So let's go. Introduce yourself. Every time there are new people who haven't met you. There are people who have followed you recently who don't know who you are, where you're from, whatever you're doing, what you're doing, nothing. They probably saw just one post and followed you because they resonated, right? So this is an introduction. They get to know you, and it also makes you human. Share your story. Who are you? What happened for you to choose this path? What happened? Share your story. What happened for you to choose this path? What challenge stood in your way? What was stopping you from being all that? What challenges did you face before getting here? You know, and now after overcoming, this is just your story. You don't have to overthink it. Just introduce yourself. Just introduce yourself.
Kwani wani alikuwa nakuweka na alikuwa kuendelea kushuka saa hizo?
Please mute yourselves. If you're in the meeting, please mute yourself. Yeah, thank you, Grusha. Awesome. So and now after overcoming these challenges, how's life like? Or if you haven't overcome, just share. This stuff makes you relatable. The whole of last year, I was like challenging myself to share, like get comfortable with social media. I'm an introvert. If I had any other option, honestly, I wouldn't be on social media. But after seeing the impact, after 1 year of sharing and seeing the impact, and me sharing my story and releasing others to be able to share theirs also, I wouldn't stop now. But last year, if you're giving me another choice, I would have stopped. So every day I was pushing myself out of my comfort zone. Post something on social media, post. And so because of that dynamic that I was in, I was sharing a lot of my personal story, like a lot of the challenges I was facing, just everyday things, everyday things, and activational posts mostly. And it's built my audience, and that's how I got clients, by the way. I like every now and then I'd post about LinkedIn, and that's how I got my clients. All right, but you don't have to wing it. You're doing this and with purpose, with intention, with strategy, so that you're not worrying like I was doing. All right, so post number 1, I want to see how many of you are gonna post it. Post your story. Who are you? Introduce yourself. Introduce yourself to people. Who are you? How did you get here? So, and your call to action, this is an example of a call to action you can use. You don't have to use it. How did you end up doing what you do? So share. You're telling your audience members to share how they ended up doing what they do now. It's a good way to just like break that ice. Even in the WhatsApp group, we don't know each other. I know names, I know now what people are doing, but I only remember those who are frequently posting in the group and frequently maybe sharing their opinion or helping others. Otherwise, everyone else is just lying into each other. So it's a good way to just like break that and start, and you'll see people will start following you. Even in the tribe, there are people who will follow you, the others who won't, simply because your story, this person resonates with you. They feel, yeah, this is it, let me just follow her, So this is our assignment for today. This is our post, and when you do it, tag me so that I don't miss it. But I'm going to show you how to get that link for your post so that you can share it in the group, and so that other people also can even bookmark it so that they can engage with you bio, right? The The other thing you need to do is to share your why. Why do you do what you do? The first one was about your story. You're sharing your background, where you've been, how you ended up here. How is it like now? You know, what are the challenges you faced? That's your story. That's your story. It can't be taken away from you. It's without a purpose. It's just to get to know people and to just break that ice. All right. And how do you do, why you do what you do? It's simply your why. It makes you human. This is what I was sharing before about stuff that keeps you going during the tough times. You remember why you're doing it. You remember why you chose to do this way. It's gonna keep you going, whether you have clients now, whether you have clients in 1 month, whether you have clients in 2 months, whatever. I know people who've taken years to get clients on LinkedIn. Years. I know somebody who comes in 1 week, they have clients. 1 month, they have clients. It took me 6 months, and I was still posting, you know, because my why was bigger. I wasn't even thinking of myself. I was thinking about feeding my baby, and so I didn't have any other option for me, you know. So why do you do what you do? This is a post. In the course of the week, we committed to doing 3 posts a week, and this is what I recommend, because you want people not to forget you. You want to be constantly on people's. You don't want people to have to remind themselves who you are. This one looks familiar. No, you want people to see Namatasi and associate you. You know, say this chick talks about Africa. This lady talks about LinkedIn also. You know, they can relate you and they don't forget you. That's the purpose. You want to be constantly on people's minds. 2 times a week I feel it's too far apart, you know, for what we're going for. 3 times is a really good median. You know, you can rest every other day and post, like skip a day and post, right? So this is post number 2. Your prompt for post number 2. Why are you doing what you do? Why did you choose this path? Why are you doing it? And in that context, you want to think in the lines of what changes in your personal life because of what you're doing. What changes in your personal life? For me, what changed was I stopped being dependent on anyone else. Right? It feels good that if I want tissue, I don't have to ask anyone for tissue money. You know, it feels good. It feels good that I can take my daughter out and buy her clothes, whatever. It feels good. So what changes in your personal life because of what you're doing? What changes in your personal life? In your own, like you as Namatasi, what changes? I can now do my hair. Hey, Kitambo, it was problems. Hey. Number 2, think of it this way. Another way you can think of it, who else will reap the benefits of you doing this and how? For me, it's my baby, it's my family, it's the people I get to outsource to, who I get to provide financial, you know, benefits to. Cindy, who else will reap the benefits and how? If you have to write it out, write. Why do you do what you do? You do not have to write all the things in one post. These are things you can just like divvy up throughout your journey of content creation. Remember, it's not something you're doing for 1 month. It's something you're gonna be doing as you go. And as you evolve, your whys continue to grow, they continue to expand. And good job. So Alexa wants to join us. So the other thing to think about is how whatever you're doing is going to impact the world. Is there an impact for other people beyond, you know, your those who are close to you? How does it affect the world at large? Think of your whys along those lines and see what you come up with. Your call to action could be what's your why, but it's a post for another day. Today, I want us to do our stories, the first one that I shared. This you can do in 2 days or tomorrow or whenever, however your spirit moves you. But remember, we're going to be posting 3 times a week. So write your notes, see what comes up for you, and see how you're going to be posting, all right? Now, there's that thing that you need to consider so that your content hits all those purposes. It's your mission. So that your content starts conversations, so that your content makes you human and relatable, so that your content activates people to make moves, to get out of their comfort zones, to get this solution. You have to think that thing you have to think about, it's your mission. Who do you help? How do you help them? This is why you talk about your clients now, right? Who do you help? How do you help them? And remember, as we're using that template, there's a template we used when we're doing brand positioning clarity. Do you remember that template? We've been working on the whole of last week. There's a point where your clients, after repeatedly trying to solve their problems, they get to a point where they start believing something about themselves. That belief, that conviction they have is what you want to counter with your mission. Your mission counters that. Your mission counters that. What do your clients believe in due to the frustrations they face while trying to solve their problems? What you saw how you are doing it. From the most obvious problem, the most obvious challenge they were facing, going deeper. This problem that they're facing, how they try to solve them, gets them into deeper challenges. They start facing, you go deeper, there's a frustration that they keep facing, a feeling that keeps coming up for them, and as a result, they start believing something about themselves, about their business, or in terms of, how, according to the problem that they're facing. You know what this belief is, you know what this conviction is, and you remember you had a belief that fights that. You had your own mission, you had a mission statement that fought that. So go and look at your templates. That's your template, you're going to use it so much. It's going to come in so handy. So if you haven't had time to do that, to fill it out, if you haven't had time to watch that brand positioning clarity session we had, please go and watch so that it gives you clarity and clears your way, and see how we reach to the other challenges, the deeper challenges. Most time people don't buy because of the obvious challenge. It's like the obvious, it's the deeper ones that they buy for, especially the premium clients. They buy the deeper problems because they know this is what's missing. All right, so this is post number 3. You can post it in the course of the week, anytime you feel like. Okay, we have 3 posts for the week now, so you guys do not have an excuse. And what I mean, talking about your mission like this, your belief, that conviction, it makes you believable. Because you can't lie about it. If you don't believe it, it's gonna show through. So this kind of post where you talk about your mission, it's the stuff that you're gonna be posting every now and then as you go. All right, it makes you believable because your conviction comes through. It can't be hidden. All right, so you have 3 posts for the week. You could use this call to action or any other. How do you help your clients? So you want to know how they help their clients. Now, you don't have to do it in a like as if you're following a script or something. You can do it so easy, like however you want to do it, however you feel comfortable sharing yourself. This is about you, so do it how you feel comfortable. Do it how you want to do it. Okay, you don't have to reveal stuff about yourself that you don't want to reveal. You can start slow and build momentum as you go until you come to a place where you feel okay. And you don't have to share your personal stuff if you don't want. Just find what aligns with your business, what led you here, and start as you go, and warm up to LinkedIn as you go, warm up to your audience, warm up and start feeling comfortable sharing yourself with these strangers. And as you continue nurturing and getting to know all these people, you'll start feeling comfortable to just share, because these are challenges that everyone a lot of people are going through, you know. So it comes easier as you go. You don't have to be like bare your inner secrets to the world. No, you don't have to do that. Okay, now there's something called embedding content. You can't, I shared about how you cannot keep selling your solution every day. Like, you cannot wake up and tell them, hey, do you know I'm a virtual assistant? Hey, do you know I'm a coach? Hey, like telling people all the time. But how do you sell yourself? If you're how do you market yourself then, if you can't do this every day? If you have to create content that talks about your personal life, that incorporates your personal, that incorporates your why, that incorporates your mission, how, at what time then do you sell yourself? So there's something called, I call it the drop, because that is exactly what it is. But in marketing terms, it's called like embedding the offer inside content. So what should it's selling in a subtle way. It's selling in a subtle way. I could create a post about something different, something totally different, but I'll drop a line there about what I do, or just something. It's not the purpose of the post. The post itself has a different purpose. I'm going to give you a good example in the next page as you scroll. The purpose of sharing is totally different. You're sharing your why. Maybe you want to demonstrate how, you know, you get financial freedom from buying this offer, or doing it your way, or, you know, something like that. But in there you drop something like, so this was after a conversation with a client of mine, you know, or something like that, like something that gives a hint of what you do. Let me give you an example. I wrote something here, over here, an example of the drop topic. This is a possible topic I could write about: how bossy Alexa has become nowadays. She's turning 3 in December, and you guys, you can't believe, she, like, on top of everything and everyone, she like dictating schedules and food and basically everything. It's like a negotiation left, right, and center these days. So the topic is that, you know, the topic is that, and it could be accompanied by a picture of us being in the playground or whatever. Just, you know, a demonstration of the freedom you get, you know, time freedom you get from working on your business online. You're not tied to all these things, and that's a transformation my clients get, because when you do it this way, when your content starts working for you, you're not constantly in people's DMs sending messages and whatever. It gets to a point where your content just works for you, and so you have more freedom. All right, once you start leaning into your genius, what comes naturally for you? You're able to up your prices, because you're solving a big problem for somebody, and it comes easily for you, so you can do it over and over. You can do it a couple of times. You can reach out to as many people as possible. All right, financial freedom comes this way. You raise your prices. Financial freedom comes this way. Time freedom comes this way. So this is a transformation that comes as a result of buying my offer. All right, that is the purpose of the conversation, but we're not doing it like that. So the drop would be, after I had a LinkedIn call in the morning. I had a LinkedIn strategic session in the morning. That's just a line. It's just a line. It's a drop. It's called content embedding. Like, you embed content in coding. People who know coding, Akina and Mercy, you know about embedding, like embed hapo ndani, right? So you create something like that. And my call to action isn't related to LinkedIn. It's not related to buying my offer. I'm asking parents, how many more years am I gonna do this? How many more years am I to experience this with Alexa, because she hasn't turned 3? You know, it's an easy conversation. It's an easy conversation that a lot of parents would relate with, a lot of guardians would relate with, people who have kids around, you know, that relate to that. So, but as they're reading that content and they're chatting and they're engaging with me, they'll remember they saw, oh, so you do LinkedIn. Hey, So I saw something about you doing LinkedIn. You have LinkedIn solutions. You offer. Can you tell me more about it? Okay. So that is how it happens. You're creating content with a different purpose, but you just drop that LinkedIn or whatever solution that you offer right there. I'm gonna post in the group another example of embedding content where the friend of mine, she's a business coach in a marketing strategy, and she was giving us her take on the Tinder swindler, marketing tips she took from watching the Tinder swindler. And as she was giving us this information, she every now and then she drop about how she used to offer copywriting and how she switched from copywriting now to helping people convert through their content. Like it's not the purpose of the post, but you'll remember she does this for people. The content itself, it's engaging. It's something you'd want to have more conversations about, but it's not the point. Regardless, you won't forget the drop. Okay, so note it down somewhere. Every time you write a post, see how you could just casually mention what you do, casually. And this is something I have to remind myself because I keep forgetting. How to drop, and then later, after people have already engaged, I go and edit my post on LinkedIn and drop it. But do it early so everyone who engages with your content, everyone who sees it from the get-go, sees the drop. Okay. Oh my goodness. Now we go to categories of content. There are 4 categories. There are 4 categories of content. Educational posts. And the purpose of these ones is where you educate, you inform your potential clients, your ideal buyers, your ideal clients about their problems. Specifically the deeper ones that they never spend time on, they don't think much about. Your purpose with this educational post is to shift their beliefs. We talked about the beliefs that they think of, what they believe in as a result of all the frustration they faced. Your purpose is to shift their belief, to know that regardless, there's a solution, and this is what it is. Your educational posts are to educate them. Tell them this, whatever you're experiencing is a result of this. When you solve this, you solved your problem. All right. But as long as this is still here, this is gonna come up. You're gonna treat a symptom, and still the cause is there unless it's treated and taken out. That's the purpose of your educational post. All right. The second kind of posts are activation posts, and these ones are the ones that lean into people's feelings. Activation posts, they get people to feel. They lean into the feelings and the emotional around the offer, around the solution that you offer. The feelings. Remember the template that we used. Now we're going deeper. Activation post, lean into the feelings. Let me tell you. Ideal buyers are here. Your ideal clients are here. People who know what it means to not have that solution. They know. They've experienced it. They know. You do not have to sell them. You do not have to keep telling them this is what they're gonna experience. This is not what they're going to experience. If let's say you are on an island somewhere and you're selling a boat paddles. I don't know if they're called paddles. Those things that you do this with to move the boat forward. If you had a handful of them, really beautiful ones, and you wanted to sell to a person who wants now to get into the water with a boat, if you told them at that point to take a paddle and go with it, they'd probably tell you, oh no, we have a guide, we have they don't have theirs, so they're just okay. Wait until they get stranded huko ndani kwa ocean. If they get stranded in the ocean and I don't know where the guide went to, or whoever was paddling for them, at that point it becomes a need. They've experienced being stranded. They know. You do not have to tell them this is the best paddle. It's a paddle they'll buy. And if it's 10 times more, if it's 100 times more, they need it, they're going to buy it. The purpose of your activation post. All right, you lean into the feelings. Now this person who's caught in the ocean, who's trapped in the ocean, they know these feelings. That's your ideal buyer. You don't negotiate with such. They know the value that you're offering. They know. All right, activation post. This is where the feelings, the frustrations, the emotions are, and you address them like that. Like for instance, there's a time I'd get on calls for LinkedIn strategy calls with so many people, like my calendar would be full. Somehow, especially last year. So you get on calls. I'm forever on calls. I'm telling people, hey, take care of Alexa, I'm getting on a call. Take care of Alexa, I'm getting on a call, but I'm not converting from this call. There's a time I removed my calendar from Facebook, from whatever. I'm like, if people are not going to buy, I'm not going to put up my calendar, because they're coming and they're asking me for LinkedIn advice and I'm giving them advice, sometimes even actionable advice. Like they'll get out of there and they have 1, 2, 3 they can do from our session. I haven't charged. And it got me to a place where I was feeling so frustrated and used, you know. That is a feeling I know. So when somebody comes, tells me, yes, that is what happens. That is what happens. If your content isn't working for you, if you're not confident in your offer, you'll come and show up on the post, you'll come and show up on the call. And no matter they loved your content, but you yourself, when you talk and when you speak about the solution, you don't speak as if you're sure. And once they sense that, they run away, right? Because I haven't embodied my offer. I don't know if it's going to solve the problem or not, right? Lean into the feeling. And I would be frustrated in these feelings. I would stay in these feelings if I didn't have a solution. If I wasn't told, hey, come, let me show you how to do your content so that it works for you, so that you don't need to get on calls so much, right? So that people can just send you a DM and tell you and ask you, hey, how do I pay? And they pay, you know, like that. That's what you want. That is what you want. And you know, that's a kind of an activation post, because I'll be like, hey, I know, you know. And this kind of post make you an expert, because the people trust that you know their problem. Like you know their problem. Lean into activation posts. You need to switch them up, but these are all posts that you have to do. Transformational posts are, this is what you post, testimonials, recommendations. You get great ratings. This is what you want to post. If your clients get results, this is what you want to post. If you yourself get results from your work, this is what you want to post. Transformational posts. But you don't have that many clients, that many results, you know, to keep posting every day. What you do is create posts that talk of the transformation, the potential transformation that they could get. And I'm going to break it down because it has so many parts. Like transformational posts, this is what people buy. They see this, they trust that you're the person with the solution, and they pay. Transformational posts, we're going to talk about them, divvy them up. It's not just testimonials, it's not just results, it's not just clients' work. All right, it's more. It's the transformation that your solution brings, not just directly, the ripple effect that comes in so many ways in their lives due to your solution. Okay, the fourth kind of content is offer post, and this is where, like, from start to finish, you're talking about an offer. You're telling people about the challenges they're facing, why they're facing them, what solution you have for. I hope you're writing them down, what I'm saying. You're talking about the challenges You're not talking about the different packages that you have. You're talking about the challenges that your clients are facing, the transformations they want, what they're working towards, what they want. We talked about this. Reference the template again. All right, what they want and the solution. How to get rid of this challenge. That's a solution. And this offer is it. You let them know how they can reach out to you, how they can pay, how they can start working with you, how you're going to work together using this offer. That's an offer post. That's an offer post. Now, you could create content every day. You could create content every day. And if you're not putting out an offer for people to buy, they're not going to reach out. They're not going to buy. You have to get comfortable with creating offers and remove yourself from the solutions. Know this. For your offer to be bought, it has to be received by the right audience. If Namatasi wants your offer, I need to see it at the right time. If I don't see it, I won't buy. If I don't see it, I won't buy. If I see it and it's not the right time, I won't buy. You have to remove yourself from the equation. Create your offer. If no one buys, it's okay. You'll create another one. It's not a reflection of you. It's not a reflection of whether or not you're good or not, if you suck or not. It's not. Remove yourself from the result of creating an offer, because this triggers people. It triggers people. I put in so much effort into creating this offer. It has so many solutions. No one has bought. And so you retreat. You feel like, maybe I should learn more. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe you start creating excuses. You create an offer, you put it out there, whether somebody buys or not, you keep moving. Create another offer, put it out there until somebody buys. All right, and keep learning what's not happening. Is it my audience? Is it me? Is it the timing? What is it? Why are people not biting? Take it as a lesson. Don't be discouraged by it. Okay, don't be discouraged. Post your offers. Now, I want to go deeper into transformational posts. So that you don't think you need to have a lot of testimonials for you to talk about transforming your clients' lives. This is simply about improving their lives. Even when a client gives a testimonial, it isn't about Namatasi is such an amazing lady. Oh, no. It's not about that. They talk about how you've transformed their life, right? They talk about how you solved this particular problem for them. And as a result, things are easier this way. This how things are easy. You don't need that client testimonial. You already knew they could get that, right? You already knew. And so many other ways that your solution could transform their lives. So this is what you do. You sit down, you write down how your solution is going to make your client's life better. Health-wise. I'm not talking to doctors and health workers alone. I'm talking to everyone. Your client is gonna get peace of mind from working with you, right? You've improved their health. How does your solution solve? How does it improve their life health-wise? And that I'm talking about physically, how does it change their lives? Write down 10 transformations under each topic here. Health, right? Physically, mentally, how does their life improve mentally? Psychologically, how does their life improve from your solution? You'll find you have so many ways you hadn't even thought of, how your solution touches people's lives. And that is what people buy. The transformation. the transformation that you're gonna be able to work from on Tuesday until Thursday. You have Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for resting and for being with your family. You've improved their lives. You've improved their lives. Number two, how do you transform? How do you improve their lives spiritually? You know, do they get more time to meditate? Do they get more time to just be alone and just be, you know? Do they get more time to now go to church? Something. How does your solution impact their spiritual lives, the spiritual aspect of their lives? Number three, how does your solution affect their relationships? If you're constantly on your computer, doing this and this and that, solving this problem, if you're constantly locked up in your room, trying to solve this problem, you lose time with your family, you're losing time with your friends, you know? How does it affect your relationships at work with your colleagues? How is it like? You know, how does this solution make their lives better in their relationships with themselves even? You know, do you begin to love yourself more? Do you have more time for yourself to just rest? Go to the salon, do your hair. When's the last time you just took like an hour in the bathroom, just you, and you're comfortable, you're not like beating yourself up, you're not, you know, you're not feeling guilty? When did you take time to just visit a spa and just treat yourself? When? Your transformational posts address all these aspects of life, and you have so many. Sit down and think about it. Write 10 under each. Write 10 ways you improve their lives. 10, like, dig deep and find out. Talk about their physical environment, school, at home, in the church, in the workplace, in their businesses. How does their life in these areas improve? You know, how is it in the workplace? How is it in the workplace? Because you've solved this problem. You know, people are more mellow, people are more excited to show up for work. How do you solve their problems? How do you solve their problems? How does your solution solve their problem? I see somebody with a question. Let me just finish the financial thing and then you can unmute and ask. Yeah, financially too. Now this is the most obvious for most of us as business owners, right? Financial improvement or transformation. Like, you're doing this, you're saving them money. You do this, you're saving them you're doing this, you know, you can easily see how you're going to benefit them financially. But I want you to think deeper on these other things, because they're going to show up with even how you create your posts, your everyday posts. I shared with how about the example I gave about Alexa being bossy. If I shared with a picture of us in the playground during the day after having a call with my clients, isn't that a transformation somebody would want? If you're caught on a desk, you haven't slept through the night, you're still chasing deadlines, and you like, isn't this something you want? You know, having that freedom to be with your child, to be with your family, to set times, to arrange your schedules the way you want, the way you want, build a life the way you want it. Isn't that a transformation you want? Think of it that way, so that when you're creating your own posts, like your life posts, whatever posts, kawaida posts, just life things, your everyday life things, you can incorporate such transformations easily, you know, easily, and do that drop, so that your content is just naturally marketing you. All right, now it is, let me answer. It is oh she raised her hand by mistake. All right, now let me ask if somebody has a question at this point, because I've talked about a lot of things. Before I head to our assignment for the day, because I'm done. We're almost done. Anyone with a question before I head off to our assignment? No one? Okay. Our assignment for the day, I want you to sit down and do this commitment. Choose a time when you want to create content. If you decide you're going to be creating content 3 times a week, take a weekend or a day that you're comfortable to just fill your cup, to increase your capacity and create content that resonates for your clients, right? Choose a time. Like say this is on Saturdays at this time, on Sundays at this time, on Fridays at this time. For 1 hour, just block out my time and create content. Write down 3 topics in advance so that when you sit down, it's just, you're jotting down, you're just jotting down and create them. If you can schedule, you can schedule through Canva, you can schedule through Sked, you can use Facebook, the inbuilt creator studio. You can schedule like third-party apps, later, and such apps, right? And most of them have a free version that is you can work with. You don't have to spend money on. All right. Decide when you're going to be working on your content. Be intentional. Be intentional. I want you to dedicate yourself to your success. Don't be followed by anyone. This is for you. This is for you. Right? Commit to being a solution. You committed to being that. In the first session that we did, you committed to being a solution. This is it. Commitment. Set time aside. Be intentional. Have your topics if in the course of the day, or if you're writing and then something pops up, and maybe a topic that could come up as another day, write down that topic somewhere so that the next Saturday or the next day you sit down to create content, you just pick one topic and just start filling it up. All right? Set time aside. I want to see in the chat how many are committed to doing that. Setting time aside and creating content in advance. I like doing it because it doesn't overwhelm you. Sometimes you wake up, you want to leverage the time when you're in the mood, you feel like sharing. Sometimes I wake up and even though I could talk the whole night about LinkedIn, I'm like, what do I post today? And sometimes the day goes by without sharing, without posting anything, right? Yeah, I'm seeing one person who's committed. We have how many people in the room? 12. I want to see more commitments to creating content and posting, to setting time aside, marking it on the calendar so that you get a reminder, and sitting down as if you have a client, as if you're meeting a client on Zoom, and sitting down and just writing, filling up that content piece. I want to see more commitments. I'm seeing more commitments in the chat. Yes. That is assignment number 1 for the day. Setting time aside. Decide when is a good time for you, when there are no distractions, or a time you can set aside and just say this is it. For me, these are Saturdays afternoon. That's when I feel good because the whole day I've been listening to marketing podcasts. I've been listening to Africa Thingies. I'm feeling motivated. I'm feeling psyched up. That's when I write my content. So when is it for you? When do you fill your cup? I feel like every time I do it, there's such a nice flow. I'm filling my cup. I'm feeling like sharing. I feel confident. I've increased my capacity. I've learned something new. So I feel good about sharing. I feel good, and that in that moment I create powerful content. That is what you want. So that when you're not ready, and you can do extra even. You can do extra if you want. If you're feeling like in the mood and the time is there, write an extra piece of content so that you have a bank of content. You can just pick it and plug it when you're not ready, when you don't have content, right? Assignment number 2 for the day. is create your intro post. Create your introduction post. Tell people who you are. What's your story? What's your story? How did you get here? How did you decide to do this? Why? Why are you doing this? Do that. Do that. If you need me to do a screenshot, oh, I'm done. I'm on page. I'm on the last page. Let me go back up and share the post number 1 that we talked about. So you can take a screenshot if you want of that. This is our post for the day, an introduction. And when you post it, please tag me so that I know and don't miss it, so I can support you on LinkedIn. All right. You could even say this is our intro post at the last minute, at the last part of your content. You could say something so that it's not just namatastic pop, like a drop in the post, so that a nice continuation. You could say this is a part of the LinkedIn challenge by Namatas, and then tag me. All right, something simple like that. All right.